Hello, everyone. My name is Alex. I'm the CEO of Leap, and what we try to do is put artists in the spotlight to give them a chance to shine and tell their story. Our monthly winner, Antbando, here is our first winner, and I'm glad to have you on to learn a bit more about yourself.
Thank you,
So,
thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
I want to go a bit more in depth and just kind of learn a bit more about you. Just tell us, like, a little bit about your journey, how you got here, or different challenges you faced along the way.
So I've been making music for quite some time now. I haven't really like when I first started making music, it was more just like with my friends, with my family. I was never really had the goal or the idea to like share it with people, to post stuff, to make content. So that was kind of rough getting into like to change my mindset to be more like be more open to sharing my work. And yeah, that's about that. That's how I really got started. And now it's just like just a passion I follow almost every day. I'm either recording something, mixing something, editing something, trying my best to just keep making music. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. So, let's say we stripped away the stage name, the profiles, and the digital identity that you've obviously cultivated at this point. What's like the emotional atmosphere from the room that you like grew up in that like inspired the style you're in now or have?
Yeah. So I would say like I was very fortunate enough to like to surround myself. Like my room was my safe zone, right? So I was very
Mhm.
fortunate enough to surround myself with the things that I like to do, creating, making music. I was able to like build the place I would want to make these types of arts because it's not only music, right? I also do like computer stuff, also do painting. So my room was always like that safe space for me. No matter how creative, what field I wanted to go into, I was always capable and able to explore that art.
Got you. Okay. So you're a lot of the inspiration you have is like cultivating a space where you felt like kind of safe and that others
Mhm.
might connect with, even though again, initially it was just for yourself and expression, but later in the line, I guess it kind of evolved a bit.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. And it was like, I started real small with a whack mic, like the cheapest $20 Amazon mic, cheapest pair of headphones, horrible computer. And it was just about the whole process of building the space that I wanted to have the results that I have today.
Got you. Now, I just want to delve back into kind of one of your songs briefly. You mentioned putting down the Bible in your music. I guess growing up, was faith something that brought inspiration or genuine comfort to you? And like, did it set sort of expectations that now you kind of live off by?
Yeah. So, in a lot of my songs, I make references like that Bible, God, demons, angels. And that comes
Mhm.
from, if I had to think, that would come from like the constant battle of trying to figure that out. Like in my own spiritual journey in life, it's like trying to figure out what does any of that mean? What does it mean for me? Is it true? Is it not? So a lot of those references come from that kind of thinking, and they can be strong because a lot of people relate heavily to those topics in religion and all that stuff. So I think it's not really so much that it had a big impact on me, but it's more like it makes for good bars. Really, I feel like that's
Got
about
you.
it.
Okay. And with regards to like the name you chose in the end, was that purely like aesthetic or does it have like some sort of symbolism or meaning behind it?
Yeah, so that's a funny one, honestly, because that name I didn't pick that name. Like that name was
Oh,
given to me young, and it's like the area I grew up in. That's just the name my friends gave me. They just started calling me that. My real name is Anthony, so they took the Ant and then they just put Bando next to it. So it doesn't
hmm,
really have any deep meaning to me personally, but that's just what I go by. It's just stuck. It's a name that stuck.
hmm. No, that's
Yeah,
cool. I mean, you say that, but obviously it means something to you in terms of like you put it as your stage name now. So it's, when
yeah,
you make it,
yeah,
it's going to be what's going to define you, going forward.
yeah,
But that's
yeah.
good.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, I never put too much thought into like
Yeah.
into changing it or what it meant or like I just stuck it like that's what people know me by, what people call me. Some people call me Ant. I have thought about just like using Ant because it's more personal.
Hmm.
It's like the bando part just stuck, and people call me that, and that's what my socials are. It was the easiest handle to get. So I was like, you know what? I guess that's what I'm gonna stick with.
Nice.
Hmm.
Okay. So I want to go more into a bit more of like defining and just deep diving into your lyrics. So reading back one of your lines, or I put down my Bible, time after time, I rehearse recitals. Help me
Yeah.
understand kind of the recitals, what's actually going on in that. Like, how am I unpacking this whole thing?
So I guess in a lot of my songs too, there's always like a duality, right? There's always like the yin and yang. There's always like the good and the bad. So it's like in that specific bar, it's more like hope versus despair and like giving up. Because it's like praying every day. I'm saying like there's still hope. Now I think a lot of people can relate to that, right? Because we all have goals, we all have things we want to do, and there's the hope. But then there's always that voice in your head that's like, you can't do that. This not gonna work the way you think it's gonna work. So it's like I'm praying every day, but I put down my Bible. So it's like contradicting in itself. And then the next bar is um the very next words is I rehearsed the recital because it's like I done been it's that loop again. It's like mentally you're just in that loop of just like hope versus despair constantly.
So for you, it's a constant battle between like not necessarily your inner demons, but that sense of
Yeah.
like progression, the actual result of the efforts you're doing each day, and then I guess it's the yin and yang in that sense.
Yeah, in that sense, yeah. That's exactly yeah. And there's a few songs where those same themes come up. They're worded differently, but you still see like
Mhm.
the good versus the bad, the hope versus the doubt. Yeah.
Got you. So in one of your heaviest lyrics, you have she don't want to die while I'm suicidal. She's gonna live a lie while I live a lie too. What is the exact emotional toll of that obviously heavy line there?
Honestly, I couldn't put words to it, but it was most likely a night where I was feeling a certain way. And it's like when you mix the love part with that despair, you get bars like that. It's funny though, because at the end of that song, I come back and I'm like, I'm not suicidal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's always like this drag of like I'm falling down a spiral, but there's always like a glimpse of hope, if that makes sense.
I see. So it's like an
Yeah.
internal battle. Like all of your songs, like it's
Hmm.
not like this sounds nice. It's something you're dealing with, or a certain day where you're like this is the expression I have. This is the emotion I feel right now.
Right now. And then I want to put emphasis too on the fact that like
Yeah.
I think of it like an art too, like the same way an author writes a book, right? It's like
Mm.
he don't always it's not that he don't always experience that, but he's able to tell a story that somebody relates to, or he's able to make one up. And in some of my songs, it's coming from true feelings, but there are some parts where the emotions are exaggerated, or
Of
like
course.
someone else in the world is going through it. And it's like I could kind of tap into their, like, I hear a story about somebody who's going through badness and going through emotional, mental problems, all that. It's like I could tap into that and make a song about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it's hard to kind of relate to people in that sense, but obviously you're finding a way to kind of mesh together and form like a
Yeah.
coherent song that tells a story. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So you write, get through the sorrow. Let's see tomorrow. Maybe time will kill. All love is sorrow. Like, if you truly believe deep down that all love is sorrow, like, what do you reach for in your songs?
Mm, that's a hard one. If I truly believe deep down, I would say it goes back to that hope and despair thing.
Hmm.
It's like we all want the thing that that little voice tells us we can't have, and it's like I guess that's the best way I could put it. That's the best way I could put it, honestly.
Hmm. I guess within your own past, like, have you like found that like not like it's like a letdown of love, but like it's not as lovey dovey as people usually think it is. Like there's a
Yeah,
lot more black and white to it.
nuance to it. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, in my personal relationships in the past, and even like not so much currently, but more in the like in the in the near past, I would say,
Hmm.
yeah, like there's always the expectation is not what you would get. And I don't say that to sound like I want the highest standards of everything, but it's like it's exactly what it is. It's like you get into this butterfly feeling, and then that fades away, and then it's like humans are complicated, right? So it's like yeah, start clashing, this starts happening, there's this type of abuse, there's this, so it's like it gets real messy. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So tracks like you have Night Sky, you have Dancing in the Snow, have like an intense late night atmosphere feel. So when the world gets quiet at like 3 a.m., let's say, for example, and it's just you and your microphone, like, are you making music to connect with the outside world or kind of to distract yourself from like the silence? Because you definitely have a theme in your songs.
Yeah. So I would say with that one specifically, with those two songs, those were songs where the
Mm.
goal was to make something a little more light, right? Like not so dark and like sad. Something more light people can relate to. And if you notice too, a lot of my songs aren't like you just partying or like you're just having fun. They're like
For
you're by
sure.
yourself, you're alone, you just want to listen to something that's like has some meaning behind it, maybe a late night drive. So as far as like the atmospherical feel, that was definitely something that was like intentional with those two songs specifically to give people that like kind of a breath of fresh air from my like
Yeah.
my default vibe kind of. Yeah.
No, I think that resonates a lot. Like traditionally, like an artist who's starting out that doesn't have a team or anything, like they are going to be alone and they're going to be banging their head against the wall in the sense of making music that no one hears initially. Like it's a lot of posting with no
Hmm.
results.
Yeah.
I guess from that, like, how do you kind of manage that balance of like not necessarily just strictly disappointment, but that kind of push against all odds? How do you personally do it?
I would say like that's really hard, right? Because it's like I can't decide how I feel right now, and I can't decide what kind
Hmm.
of music I'm gonna make. You really can't. Like you could try so hard, but it's like if the feeling don't. At least for me personally, it's
Yeah.
all feeling wise. So if I'm feeling low or down, or I'm feeling happy or vibey, excited, like it literally like shows itself through the songs. So
Hmm.
I'll just try to stay true to that emotion as much as possible. Because when you try to like make a song that you're not really feeling, it doesn't come out as I would hope it does, if that makes sense.
Got you. Okay. I mean, oftentimes when people are making songs, like you could think of like XXX Tentacion and
Mhm.
people of the like that kind of have that dark, romanticized kind of music vibe. Like, when
Mhm.
does that line between like a cry for help begin versus like a artistic expression like stop? Like, where's that fine line? Because obviously, when you're talking about these hard topics in songs, like
Mhm.
it's hard to tell
That's
sometimes.
that. No, yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Like that's it's really hard to tell, and it's like I say it goes both ways, right? It's like it's kind of on the audience and the artist because, like you said, XXX Tentacion, Lil Peep, Juice World, they're like the core of this genre, right?
Yep.
And it's like all their songs were cries for help. Maybe not X so much, but kind of. But
Yeah.
like Juice World, Lil Peep, like they literally lost their battles to their own vices, and they sang about it, they rapped about it,
Yeah.
and the fans didn't care. You get what I'm saying? Like the fans wanted that because they get the music they want. So
Hmm.
it comes down to you being true to yourself as an artist. Like you have to. Sometimes you listen. Like sometimes even some of my songs, I listen to them. I'm like, damn, that's kind of dark. Like you have to step back and like evaluate your music, and you have to know
Hmm.
like, okay, this ain't the headspace I'm in. But it's hard because what happens when that's what the people want? That's when
Yeah.
everybody or your peers or your fans are like, yo, this is good music, you make it, but it's impacting you. So that's something I haven't fully solved yet, but it's a good question.
So obviously, like especially if someone's going down the path of like this deep expression, like more to like the roots. Like if you're making a generic song that just raps about whatever, or talks
Yes.
about just like fun things that aren't like a reflection of it, like not just your life but your emotions. Like how do you deal with like, and obviously it's really at the start, like people not connecting with it. Like it's that sense of rejection. You click upload,
Oh,
it's really telling to you, but people don't know it yet. They don't have the right audience yet. So
yeah.
like you don't get that gratification. Like how do you deal with that?
That's that's hard too because I struggle with that. And it's like I have gotten some comments, I deleted them. People
Hmm.
like, no, this ain't good, don't post this. But it's like you took a piece of your heart and you kind of like
Yeah.
put it out there and people reject it. It's always gonna be hard. It's always gonna be hard. I think for every art form. When it comes to like music that's more like emotional and personal, I feel like
Hmm.
that's harder because it's like you basically was vulnerable enough to expose that side of yourself and people reject it. Then you have to keep yourself grounded. Like I try to tell myself like I don't make music for everybody, right?
Hmm.
The persons whose favorite rappers or drill rappers or like real rappers, they're not listening to my music. And
Yeah.
especially on these algorithms, these feeds, they're gonna show it to everybody. So it's like when they see it, they're not gonna like it. And that's just something I guess you just learn how to deal with mentally over time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned that kind of push towards algorithms. Like, have you ever had the sense of like temptation, we'll say, to just make generic music that isn't like so deep and true to who you are?
Yeah. I have a whole vault, probably 20, 30 songs of just like that pop kind of music that like just
Hmm.
different genres. Cause it's like, this is my main genre, but I do like bedroom pop, alt rock. I do a lot of rock songs. I haven't posted any rock songs, but I do it. But it's to chase that mainstream appeal. And I think that's something most artists deal with because, what if you do make good songs, but that bubble that you're in is too
Hmm.
small or it's just not
Yeah.
your lane? Yeah, it's hard.
Hmm. No, honestly, like the way you're expressing it, like a lot of other artists, especially independent when they're starting out, like no one wants to kind of blend into the whole commercialization. Like they want to stick to the
Mhm.
true roots, and like I think the push should be people being distinctive and not just caving into that pressure. So it's good that you take a stand for yourself and be like, this is what I'm making.
Yeah, no, that's it. You have to because you're gonna get bored, and people are gonna get bored too. It's not like there's artists that do it really well. They only make pop
Hmm.
songs, but when you're like, I say experimental. You're still
Yeah.
finding your lane, still finding your vibe. You kind of take influences from this genre, that genre. So you wind up. I noticed that more in a lot of my songs too, because I'll take like a really upbeat song, like Night
Hmm.
Sky is kind of like upbeatish, but then it like gets dark. Like the lyrics behind it are the same. You would notice that even in my rock songs, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
the mood changed, but the lyrics and the story is sort of similar. Yeah.
Got you. You obviously talk a lot about that battling of like not necessarily your inner demons, but yourself in a sense, and like for example, any lines you have, let's see tomorrow. So for anyone that's kind of like sitting in a dark room, kind of pondering over like the path they've chose, like what helps you push through to be like, it's worth, continuing this journey to tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
let me
So
keep
that
on this
that
path regardless of it.
yeah. I would say so that bar is like literally how I feel. It's like tomorrow gets better. And I would tell anybody who's sitting
Hmm.
in a room depressed or any feel like whatever and you're stuck, tomorrow does get better. And it's like I know that firsthand. It's like no matter what you're going through, if you just sit down, you can laugh about it. Like it might
Hmm.
sound arrogant or it might sound ignorant, but I feel like if you just like disconnect for a second and just understand your situation, and then you could find your way out of it. But it's that strength. Like you need that strength, and you have to want to do that. You can't. It's like nobody's gonna fix anything for you, especially mental problems or just anything that you go. And I get it. Some people have it really rough. That's kind of why I say like I don't want to sound ignorant because it's like maybe I haven't had it as rough as that person. But it's like you literally just see tomorrow, bro. Like stay positive and just try to fix your mindset a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's say from everything you've built thus far, the music, obviously the unreleased stockpile you've kind
Yeah.
of developed now,
Mhm.
streaming, whatever it might be. Let's say it all vanished tonight. Like, who is the human kind of left? Like, who is that person? Are you at peace with them?
I would say, I would say, yeah. I would say, yeah, because at my core, I like to create art. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter. Like all the skills I learned from that, all my projects, like not only music, like
Yeah.
everything, 3D modeling, painting, coding. It's like the one core thing in my life is creation and like having the brain to like analyze problems and want to create. And sometimes it's not always to share it. So it's like that person left is a creator, and I will be
Hmm.
100% happy with that. No music involved. I'll still be creating stuff.
Gotcha. Let's say if everyone who listened to your music before or remembered you, let's say everything was gone. Like, what's the one thing you want to make sure that you would heal from, or you would give advice that someone would have to heal themselves from before they start this career, or let's say before it even ends?
I guess it'll be what people think. I hope one day to get past that. Wait, was that the question? Sorry.
Let me rephrase it. I'll start over.
Yeah.
So, in 3 generations, everyone ever
Yeah.
listened to your music or remembered your name will be gone. Um, what is the one thing you want to make sure you heal from before your time is up?
Yeah. So one thing I would heal, I would say that the ability to not care what people think. I hope I somehow get past that. And it's not like obsessive to where I'm like every little detail matters and I need to change this about myself. But it's more like a previous question where it's like what I share, I care about
Hmm.
deeply. So when people think like in a way that doesn't align with how I expected them to think, it affects me a little bit. So if there was one thing I could get past, I would hope it's that. Like at the end of my life, when everything's said and done, I hope I have figured out how to just completely not care all the way about people's opinions and just kind of be happy that I created and shared something. Yeah.
Perfect. I want to give one last question, but I love the sense of like artists giving feedback, or let's say helping others. So, two-part question: what's
Okay.
one piece of advice you'd give to an artist? And then part two would be, if another person, let's say for the next artist who does join, like, what's a question you would ask them, or let's say a quote you would want them to think about?
Okay. Okay. I would say if I had to give a piece of advice to an artist that's starting or even been doing this for some time, I would say don't be afraid to create what you want. Don't let the pressure from what people tell you to make, don't let the pressure from what you think you can't make stop you from making what you want to make because you will surprise yourself. That's what I'm going to say
Mhm.
there. And to a future artist who may be asked this question, I would say if you're being truthful, who is your biggest source of inspiration as far as music? What other artist has inspired you? Maybe it was someone when you was young. Maybe it's someone currently that's still alive. Who's that person that you seen on stage or you seen perform, you heard their song and you was like, that's what I want to do. Yeah.
Got you. No, perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So I want to give you the chance. So, what are you working on next? What's next for you that people can kind of check out, see, etc.?
Yeah. So I have a whole EP. It's the same. It's gonna be the same. I think there's one song on it. I think you said it, Dancing in the Snow, I think. And
Hmm.
okay, so yeah, Dancing in the Snow and High for Real. Those two songs are gonna be part of an 8-song EP that's gonna release
Hmm.
soon. I'm trying to push it out before September. And it all got that same vibe. The visuals are really nice. There's gonna be a music video to it that's gonna be on my YouTube channel. And the songs obviously on Spotify. Yeah, that's my next big project. And I'm working on a ton of experimental stuff right now. Ton of bedroom pop, ton of like all indie rock stuff. So
Hmm.
I'm excited. It's a lot of different stuff. Like I'm kind of really stepping out of that box of just like this like emo rap, sad boy rap. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
No, that's it's fantastic. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. I didn't add in the beginning, but being the two-time winner and also the monthly winner of all the contests, you've been inspiration in the Discord community in general, and like I appreciate to have you here to talk today. So thank you for your time.
Yeah, no, I thank you for having me here and giving me the opportunity to tell a little bit about myself and share some of my work.
Yeah, no worries. All right, take care. Thank you again.
All right, see you.